Hi, movie recap here. Today I'm providing an exciting movie, Shameless 2012, but spoilers are ahead. Get ready to discover a film you might not know about, so watch out and take care. The movie kicks off with a pivotal scene where the protagonist, Tadek, is caught without a train ticket and has to hide from the conductor. In a daring escape, Tadek jumps off the train, only to be spotted by Irina. She immediately becomes curious about who he is. Upon reaching the city, Tadek's first stop is a local ice cream parlor. He then visits his sister, who is surprised to see him. Unbeknownst to her, Tadek has been on the move. He offers his sister an ice cream, but she seems indifferent, mentioning she has an important meeting to attend. She reveals that she has met a charming man named Andre, and they plan to be friends. As the story unfolds, Tadek and Andre grow closer, invites Tadek to a housewarming party. Meanwhile, Irina, who is also at the party, sits with the girls but remains silent when Tadek leaves. She later shares with her friends that Tadek has been living with her. A few days later, Tadek revisits his childhood photos and discovers new pictures of Andre. He spends the morning examining these photos. Later, he notices some men taking away books from Andre's house. Tadek informs his sister, who is skeptical but decides to listen, and has been lying about wanting to stay with her. Until the summer's end, a dispute erupts during their break, but they're interrupted by an electrician, only to discover that Ani hasn't paid her electricity bill for months. This is the final warning from the electrician to fix the issue, but Ani refuses to let TDK watch her pack. She feels ashamed, and they reconcile the next day. TDK works part-time at the market, where Irina spots him. TDK remembers her too, telling him she plans to marry him, and if he doubts her, she'll read her handbook at home. Tadek witnesses Andre cheating on her, so he kicks him out and locks the door for him to get his attention. Tadek storms the street, shouting about what he saw. Andre asks the blonde not to reveal his actions. A few minutes later, Anna returns. Andre explains that the girl was helping him with some documents, and that he might have bent over a lot. Anka realizes this is a lie, orders him to leave her life at night. The brother pretends to sleep opposite Anka, but she wakes up and leaves. The next day, Tadek brings Andre's belongings to his club. When he returns, he finds Anka crying, saying their lights have been cut off. He learns that Anka has significant debts, so he gives up all his money and promises to bring more to help. He starts advertising IR notices and offers him a job to earn more money. Tadek takes this as a joke. Later, in an attempt to please his sister, he cleans her shoes. She thanks him and goes into her room. However, the door opens, and TDK sees this, but doesn't close the door while making breakfast. He once again promises to earn money, but his sister thinks he's joking. A few days later, Tadek arrives at Mana's house. The locals are upset about a strange man walking on their property and blame him for a car breakdown. Mana comes to his rescue and explains that he's her friend late at night. The duos sneak onto private property and they steal a large Turkish rug. The seller owes Anka 800, but offers only 300 for the rug. Ira decides to deceive the seller by opening a piece of sheep's wool and convincing the seller that it's a valuable piece. The entire rug is made from sheep's wool, meaning these rugs are specifically purchased for kids, which makes them quite expensive now. Tadek is short 150 zlotys. But instead, she helps her mother at home. Irina becomes interested in Mana and begins asking her questions about her future aspirations, mentioning she wants to become a doctor. The Englishman finds this unusual, believing that gypsies aren't suitable for such professions, which frustrates Irina after she steals a sum of money from the family staff. The girl meets TDK and returns the money she promised Irina, assuring her that she can always rely on him in secret, as promised by his sister. She uses the money to pay for her electricity and watches her sister marvel at the functioning light. A few minutes later, she returns home and finds TDK's sister sitting in the van. Irina rings the doorbell, looking puzzled, and attempts to converse with TDK, but he requests to delay the conversation until tomorrow night. Irina goes into TDK's room and wakes him up. explaining that she understands what he wants, despite knowing it's not morally right.
Nie chcesz już być moim bratem.
The next day, TDK walks through town and notices Andre buying a dress. This realization leads him to want to reconcile with Anna, and he rushes home to disconnect the phone. He then buys 2 movie tickets.
No to co oni? No?
However, upon returning home, he finds Andre's brother screaming that Andre isn't worthy of Anna,
Ale ja go jeszcze zabiję, rozumiesz?
setting the stage for a confrontation. A few days later, a stadium opens in the city during a dance, and a local official invites the girl to help. But she declines, stating that she must accompany the minister to the hotel.
Jedną lekcję tańca.
Domyślam się.
Andre's gang then sets the tables on fire, and Tadek, who witnessed his friend's act, decides to intervene. Ermina joins them too, realizes Ermina has turned into a bride. She mentions that if he hadn't overlooked her, things might have turned out differently. Odyssey proposes they flee to a place where they won't be discovered. Ermina responds that she has already fled, but promises to return. Todisi points out she had a ring and it was supposed to marry this, which makes the man chuckle, indicating she's not good at predicting the future. She's certain about one thing, how much she despises Tadek.
Gdybyś mnie wtedy nie olał, nie byłabym teraz w tej sukience.
Before she departs when Ani returns. He informs her that his belongings are packed and they have one final scoop of ice cream.